For this month's game, I was again at a loss for ideas, but then I remembered.
Time is almost up, so as we leave, if you want to be a pirate captain, come do it in Season 7 to Sea of Thieves.
And then I thought, I know exactly what game to do. Okay, I'll stop. With the recent drop of Sea of Thieves Season 7, they've added a bunch of new customization options. But there are two options that I think should have been in the captaincy update: harpoons and barrels. So firstly, you may be thinking, I get harpoons, but barrels? When I say barrel customization, I mean choosing a design for all of the barrels on your ship, as customizing them individually will be too much for the stupid UI to handle. Secondly, harpoons are a feature of your ship that you most likely use a lot, unless you're one of those people that manually gets their loot to your ship. Oh. So it makes sense to have them as a customizable object too. It has been nearly 5 years since the last map expansion was added to Sea of Thieves, so I'm gonna add the Sea of Five Winds because the Sea of the Damned expansion is overimagined. The Sea of Five Winds is placed to the west and southwest of the current map. The design is based off East Asian cultures from the 16 to 1700s, but also off some of the Southeast Asian coastlines. What makes this region special is the natural wonders of its terrain, with tall rocks and vertical islands only reachable via your mast, large ruins, or long beaches. The islands are really close together, with a larger emphasis on the land portion than the ocean portion, making sailing a bit more of a challenge. And to top off the sailing experience, you can find water spouts that can appear and travel across the water, causing damage to your ship if contacted. One of the major criticisms when Sea of Thieves was released was that it was as wide as an ocean but as deep as a puddle, although that statement can definitely be proved false in the game's current state. Though some islands still feel a bit bland and launch day standard energy. So rolling in from lands outside of the Shroud are new types of weather events and occurrences. Starting off with one of the most major parts of the game, the ocean, and I'll just let Absolute Pixel explain this one.
Seeing as there's a moon in Sea of Thieves and the fact that we don't have a high or low tide, that means the moon must be standing perfectly still in the sky. But it doesn't. It rotates around. That means that this is a nitpick.
So yeah, there's tides now, which shouldn't actually affect much gameplay wise, but it does make the world feel more alive. And for the next Ocean Edition, I'll let Absolute Pixel explain this one too.
Why is there no wake behind the ship when sailing? Is this not an ocean? The anchor on the sloop is not.
So like the tides, it won't affect anything gameplay wise, it'll just make it feel like your ship is actually in the water. Moving on from the ocean, we have proper weather events. You all know the storm, right? The big annoying thing in the sky that makes your wheels spin faster than Eminem rapping? So now, there is a random event that is like the storm but without the annoying part. So you can just call it the storm without the storm part. So, just like, rain. When it is raining, there will be no immense waves, no lightning, and no ship out of controllings. However, your boat will still very slowly fill up. You also can't catch stormfish here or any other fish related to the storm. The Hunter's Call is probably the most abandoned and useless faction in the game, which is why I chose it to get a revamp. The Hunter's Call is going to get a new voyage type named Hunter Contracts. These voyages will send you after a Megalodon or Kraken in order to retrieve a Hunter's artifact. Unlike the immersion versions of these encounters, they will only drop Mermaid and Siren gems as well as meat. But they do not count towards any of the commendations related to the immersion encounters. These contract encounters are harder than the immersion encounters to differentiate them, and the way you find these creatures is by following the note given to you by the Hunter's Call representative, which will say something like, last seen at I-12. The only type of Megalodon that cannot appear in a contract is the Shrouded Ghost. And to go with the rest of the new Hunters content, there are new creatures that can be found roaming the sky, sea, and ground that you can hunt. You can now find crabs along the beaches of islands, which are able to snap at you if you get too close, seagulls flying in the sky both above islands and in the ocean, and octopodes, yes, that is their official plural name, in the ocean, which can shoot ink at you, blinding your pirate if you get too close. These creatures all drop new meats, which you can pick up and collect, then cook them or sell them to the Hunter's Call. Now finally, the flagship activity of the Hunter's Call is fishing, so of course there has to be some new content there too. You can now fish up rickety fish when fishing off a detached rowboat. These fish don't like shallow water and also get scared by large objects such as ships and shipwrecks, so they prefer to stay in the open sea, which means that you'll have to row your boat out to sea to catch these lucrative new fish. Of course, with new regions and features comes new commendations and rewards. You can earn the Rickety Split ship set and weapons from fishing up rickety fish. You can earn the Dragon's Lament ship set from the Sea of Five Winds commendations, and the Legendary Hunter ship set from the new Hunter's Call commendations. Oh, and I also fixed the stupid ladder glitch thing, because why do you have to climb down to climb back up? It's stupid! Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this theoretical video. Make sure you check out my other videos and I'll see you next time.